Ladies and gentlemen, welcome into the final No Laying Up preview show presented by the DraftKings Sportsbook. Final one of the season, I should say. We'll, of course, start up another season in like 6 hours right after this week ends. DJ Pie here, joined by the DraftKing himself, Soly. Soly, how are you? Greetings.
Tremendous, wonderful. Can't wait to see what you guys are going to throw at me here in this last week, trying to run me down. But we're not going to let that happen.
Randy, greetings from Denver. What's going on?
Hey, good. Things are well. Thank you. Glad to be here.
Sounding very concerned about something. Tron, how are you?
I'm great. It's a major week. We're doing 200 nugs.
We're not doing 200 nugs, even though I'm woefully, very nearly sneaking up on Randy in the basement. It's hard knowing that we had like 34, 35 weeks to,
you guys
to
did.
make
I
hay.
was suspended for some of those weeks.
I just don't think you're going to favor a lot of sympathy from the committee on any of this stuff.
My entire strategy got nuked when I couldn't do parlays anymore. It's tough. It's tough out here for a sharp like myself.
My only
increasingly less sharp as the year has gone on. We'll get into everybody's stats. This is going to be a true yearbook. Look back at the year that was.
There's a lot of. I lived it once. I'm okay.
I want to revisit one thing. The lack of remorse that our colleague Tron Carter shows for his misgivings will be factored into the next ruling. That's all. I think that's only fair.
There won't be a next ruling.
Okay. He thinks he's never going to get caught. That's going to be the issue.
Note the minute mark on this video for right there. There will not be a next ruling. Just remember that.
Exactly. Soly, what do we got going on this week? What's going on in the world of golf?
A lot going on in the world of golf. We got Korn Ferry Tour Finals, the championship there. We have the Tour Championship, of course, on the PGA Tour. We have the Solheim Cup. Anything I'm missing? Because that's
the Italian Open.
The Italian Open. Of course, there's a lot going on. It's always hard to bet the team events, right? You feel like you need to see I almost think that's a fun thing to do day to day, betting individual matches, things like that. But it's hard to do. Get super amped for just making plays, almost a week out in front of it. That's where my picks are going to trend more on the PGA Tour side, but I'm curious to see what you guys are going to throw at me.
I may use my second 100 nuggets on plays. We'll do another show later this week, and I'll once matchups and everything are announced.
Tron will be streaming that on his OnlyFans account. Anybody who wants to watch Tron distribute his second 100 nuggets.
Which I appreciate OnlyFans making it right this week. Last week.
A big thank you from all of us.
God, this show is on the rails here.
Pouch of misery for next year.
Could be a great pouch of misery. God, we should have done a whole retrospective of all the different pouches. Randy, let's start there. What was your favorite pouch of misery this year?
Oh God. There's literally, I'm trying to think. There's so many. They all blend together.
So many different ways you could go with it.
I don't even know.
My personal favorite, I think the TikTok day, it's like in slow motion. Like I think you were doing it in fast motion, but just that was a real treat for me to watch.
I'm still in arrears on one pouch. I still have to go down to PGA Tour HQ outside the data lake, outside the moat, and hold up a sign for 20 to 30 minutes.
He tried to change the rules in the last week and also hadn't paid his debt on his pouch of misery beforehand.
We're living these busy schedules. There's just been no time. The last 3 months, there's been no time.
Dodging thunderstorms and all sorts of stuff too. I think they have a restraining order against me.
A lot of stuff going on. All right, should we let's start with Eastlake. Soly, what do we need to know about Eastlake? We see it every year. It's a bit of a
it does. It's a Reese Jones. Anybody that says Donald Ross can get out.
It does stink, but it is. I feel like I've enjoyed the tournament a lot more ever since they flipped the nines. I feel like the finishes are better. I mean, it's still the same golf course. You just play the holes in different order. But as far as how it's presented on television, it's gotten a lot better. I like it. I dig the new format. I think it's like almost so bad it's good. It's saying that you start a PGA Tour event with like a 2-shot lead and you start 10 shots up on the guy in last. But here we are. I think it makes it really weird to handicap. We haven't done. I don't think we did one of these videos last year for this championship. If so, I don't remember like what my strategy was on like figuring out who plays the course well with what their standing is, and like also factoring in there's only 30 guys, so the top 10 values are like insanely unvaluable. It's a really weird week to make some plays, but also feels like there's so little precedent for this that there's probably opportunities for some great value. So as the leader going to this final week, it has me nervous because like any number of things can happen. True, anything can happen situation. And I'd imagine there's going to be some just like Bryson swinging from the heels plays here in the final week.
Screaming 208.
I love the format. I think it's great. And I think I think they should do it for all 3 weeks of the playoffs. Basically reset we talked about it a little bit on the pod this week, but reset the like you did well in the regular season, and it is truly a 3-week event.
Yeah, just a big cumulative leaderboard would be truly fascinating over the course of 3 weeks. Would be interesting
3
stuff.
very, very different courses too.
My only quibble is I wish they would start the leaders at even par and give everybody else, make them start down to like plus 10.
It's a bit of it. They're kind of tipping their hand, right? It's a true live under par situation.
I know it's disgusting. You got to protect the course a little bit.
Which I would like to congratulate the tour on for the first time to my knowledge of officially living under par, and that every player last week did it. They all.
I think
all
it happened
69 guys.
Once. I saw the stat. It happened one other time recently in the playoffs as well.
Playoffs.
I can't remember which year it was, but it happened one other time when everybody was under par. But yeah, it's certainly a rarity.
And then Solheim, I don't think we have a whole lot of, it's more obviously my European side is heavily, heavy underdogs.
Mm-hmm.
Do you agree with that?
Not necessarily, man.
I feel like the Euros have some strength,
especially in the foursomes.
Yeah, exactly.
And then there's all sorts of value with Corn Ferry, that Victoria National. And then, I may sprinkle in a little Italian Open play.
Tron tipping his hand as far as where he's going. What else do we need to talk about for this week? Anything else? I think as far as kind of like the staggered start goes, we've seen it 2 years now, and I think it's been a little bit of a mixed bag. I think Rory came from a couple behind when he won. I think Dustin was leading, starting out the week and ended up winning. So it's, not a hard and fast rule one way or the other, but you would think the guys that are favorited, or you would think the guys that are starting with the lead will probably end up being your favorite.
Well, it gives you, it's kind of betting on 2 different events. You've got 2 different tournaments to bet on within the Tour Championship.
Right.
You have the stroke play gross division, and then you have the net division.
Which I hope you guys scrolled the tabs on the DraftKings Sportsbook app, of course, and found that you can pick the winner without strokes. You can pick their standing without strokes, which is
listen. I thought about playing
where I'm living
a Tony Finau. Yeah, I'm not even doing anything with the actual FedEx Cup. I'm doing it's all gross scores, and I think Finau.
Well, can we talk?
I could see him winning the Tour Championship, but not winning this event, which massive asterisk.
I was going to say, let's start there. I don't want to, I'm sure somebody has him in their plays somewhere, but what's funnier to you? Would it be if he wins the gross or wins the net?
Oh,
wins the net.
If he wins the net, it is the most perfect possible scenario for everything I've ever said. That all of the shitty luck he's had go against him and all of his great play, boosting him to getting a lead, going over most of the field, going into the final event, and that pushing him over the finish line to get the second win, which I also bet on in the year-long futures. And you guys have a debt you need to pay on Finau, which we can talk about on a separate endeavor. But it would be that is the ideal scenario. If he wins the net and needs the little FedEx Cup boost to get across the finish line to get his third win 2 in 3 weeks, that would make my entire year.
What I'm stoked to see him choke away like strokes that are given to him. That's going to be an extra tough scene for him.
What was Rom's quote?
Real competitors. I think they would give back those strokes.
I agree.
I would not want
totally
to start like that.
Yeah, I don't want to win that way.
Exactly.
Randy, when we play matches, do you accept strokes?
Only because I have to.
Okay.
Super reluctantly.
And Finau doesn't have to. I think we need that.
No. These guys are all the same handicap. He should not take those strokes.
Can we go through who's getting what strokes?
You can do whatever you want
to start.
Yeah, that's a great place to start.
Right.
Do you have that information?
No, I will have to look it up. Is the leaderboard already up? Like, how do they?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's just based. It's just the FedEx Cup.
Cantlay's at 10 under, Finau at 8, Bryson at 7, Rahm at 6, Cam Smith at 5, JT, English, Answer, and Spieth and Burns at 4, Morikawa, Sungjae, Hovland, Oosthuizen, DJ at 3, Rory, Xander, Kokrak, Na, Koepka at 2, Connors, Matsuyama, Sink, Neiman, Scheffler. Hold on, enormous ad on the PGAtour.com leaderboard. They're all at -1. Then Daniel Berger, Van Rooyen, Sergio Garcia, Billy Horschel, and Patrick Reed at even par.
P, good to see P making the trip.
He's busting down to Atlanta.
He may
Road
be on
tripping.
some sort of no-fly list or something.
Shout out to Corey Connors for making the Tour Championship. By the way, what a quietly great season he's put together.
Surprised he's not playing the Solheim Cup.
I know. I'm sure he's disappointed, but there's no spot for Canadians.
So Rahm is the plus 350. He's the favorite. And he's starting 4 shots back.
Randy, what do you have to say about that?
I think it's nothing. I have nothing to say about that.
Rahm's so freaking good, man.
You've caught me off guard. But I will say I'm glad to see it gaining traction in the zeitgeist. This Rahm has turned this amazing season into one win, and I think people are starting to poke some holes at that. Question.
I would say probably 2 wins.
1.5.
Yeah, I mean
he should get the Memorial.
Oh, then you're okay taking that away from Cantlay.
Sure.
Okay, because
doesn't
we
bother
have
me.
to balance the ledger.
God, seeing you guys just like flip flop on what wins count and what wins don't. It's riveting television.
Big Tone should get at least a couple wins just for how good some of his strokes gained were.
Yeah.
A couple of those weeks.
some of the simulations that Soly was running are just
Well, we don't have to even go to that because you conceded his win at the Waste Management as well. So really, he won twice this year. So
True.
Yeah.
What was the bet that we have to pay off?
you have to do Faldo mutton chops.
How deep do they got to get? I don't know how long it's going to take.
Go look at Faldo.
I feel like I'm kind of already
Not enough
there.
time. I feel like it's been raining.
You have many years to do this.
How about
you can
buying
just
some
start
squares?
not shaving so you can deliver on your bet. It's a shame that I have to ask multiple times for it. Really.
Soly, can we talk
This
about
this whole Finau thing seems like such a all right, it's time for the kids to go to bed. Next point wins. Next point. We just keep reheating. Like after you kept losing all these bets, it was just all right, another one, and now we finally lost one, and you're spiking the football on us.
No,
It's
you
gross.
made insane
it's
claims, and I asked you to put your money where your mouth is, and you did. You at least were willing to put yourself on the line on the front end. It's not about delivering on the front end. It's about delivering on the back end. Guess who delivered on the back end of the last bet we made? I did.
Tone did.
Keep squirming on this one. This is a tough look for you guys. What did Rahm say too? If you anything bad you have to say about Tony Finau, you're a bad person. Basically,
That's such a
If you don't like Tony, if you don't like Tony, you're a bad person.
Yes,
I
that's
love
interesting.
Tony. None of this is personal stuff.
Probably my favorite guy on tour.
Everybody, God, what a straw man. Everybody is so fired up on there's all these haters out there. It's like, dude, he just doesn't win. Like, look at all the other we don't have to relitigate all this.
all right,
I wonder who the haters are. I wonder.
Interesting thing this week. No, it's I think Tony's sounds like a fantastic
Sounds
guy.
like a truly great guy.
True gentleman in the game.
Yeah.
Sounds like he's a wonderful father.
Doesn't win.
All right.
I don't think that makes us heretics.
I think the matchups are really interesting this week because you got some matchups that are including strokes in there.
That's interesting.
Which you got like Finau plus 160 over Cantlay minus 200. Cantlay, of course, getting I believe 2 shots over Big Tone. Let me see if there's any other Big Tone. No, nothing else involving Big Tone.
He's just going to win by so much. They didn't want to.
Yeah,
DraftKings didn't want the exposure.
And there's groups with starting strokes as well.
That's interesting.
So,
all right, let's lots to keep an eye on in the world of golf this week. But before we get to our picks and kind of where we're going, let's of course take a look at where we've been. Randy, I think we should start in the basement. We're going to do a little season recap here. Let's first dive into Randy, who is pretty comfortably, I would say, in 5th place, sitting at minus $2,263. Randy, a little tail of the tape, 24 wins on your bets this year, 145 losses. Honestly, more wins than I think me and Neil had.
That shocked me.
It's just tough when you're playing these little $2 yos every week. You're like, it's just not going to add up to it.
He's playing the penny slots.
Yeah, it's just not going to add up.
Getting bagelled in the outright winners does not help the cause.
For weeks, 18 out of 34 weeks. The big guy went 0 for 5,
Tough.
which is really tough. Outright winners you see there, of course, 0. Randy, astutely pointed out 0 yet. We've still got one more week
yet to be put in parentheses there.
Randy's biggest win of the season, Victor Hovland. I'm sorry, that says top 25. It should be a top 5. That's DJ regrets the error.
How much did he play on that?
I don't know, but it was only
106
$100. It's only 125 nugget winner. That was his biggest one of the year. But his season long bets, I do want to congratulate you. I believe you had a Phil over half a win for Phil.
Yeah.
Obviously looked like a genius there.
Yeah, Soly didn't see that in his simulations.
And then Jordan Spieth, also inside the top 75 in the world. I believe you had that one as well. So congratulations. Randy, what do you have to say for yourself, man? What just take us through it.
Yeah, so actually had a really good week 1, which
you kicked ass.
About.
I totally forgot about that. 4 out of 5, I think.
Yeah, so doing a little math there after that great start.
You kind of got run down by the freeze.
Yeah, it was tough, guys. It was hard sledding. I felt like I was trying my best too. Like I these last couple weeks I've been starting to throw some Hail Marys, but man, up to that point, I understand what Tony's going through. I literally just couldn't win, couldn't catch a big break. Was making great plays. It just wasn't coming to fruition. And like Tony, I'm a great father. So that's about all I have to say about that.
Well, good luck this week. Better luck next season, of course. And, I know you're a tough competitor. People forget you won this last year, right?
Yes. And I will say, if we're going into next year, I think maybe we should look at how can we make those season-long bets potentially more lucrative or more damning? Make those a little bit more of the story.
Sure. Well, I think the committee can look into that. That's
all right.
That's compelling stuff. That takes us to myself. Not good. I'm going to try to not bring this up 15 times this week. Took a big swing last week on the Corn Ferry Tour with Steven Yeager. If picked him to win, he finished second with a late bogey. God, if he doesn't finish second,
you've got second with a late bogey, but he also would have still had to birdie the 72nd hole
for sure. But listen, point is
to tie.
You pick the guy to win and he finishes second. We could have been looking at a new DraftKings.
Would you say you were, just kind of on the wrong end of the probability of that one? What's your reaction to
totally?
Him,
and I think it's
very close to winning.
I think if that happens,
feel like you should have won.
I think if that happens 35 times in a row, I think we should definitely talk about it.
I think we need to look at Steven. I think we need to look at Steven's career record out there on the Corn Ferry Tour. He has 7 or 8 career victories.
So many wins.
Yeah. So I think his track record kind of speaks for itself.
There could have been an integrity thing going on because he already has so many wins. He already got his card locked up for next year. He could have been trying to just.
He was sending the ladder back down.
Share the
elevator.
Exactly. All right, a couple more things. So only 20 wins over the course of 34 weeks is not good. I'm gonna put my hand up on that. Not good. 0 for weeks. I was really challenging Randy. A lot of that's just, you start pressing, you get down, you got to press. It's tough.
Yeah, exactly.
4 outright winners picked. I think that probably highlighted by the Joel Damon win at, where was that? Punta Cana, I think. That was a bit of a total random flyer that, we'll hang our hat on that one. Of course, shared John Rahm with TC at the U.S. Open. What a true shock to the world. Where were you when we picked that one? In my season-long bets, I think I had the Jordan Spieth, over 1/2 win for Jordan Spieth as well. So,
who wouldn't have that one? That was the easiest bet out there. I can't believe anybody wouldn't have that.
Just not a lot of positives, man. Just I'm gonna concede a lot of my time here. There's just not a lot of highlights to relive. It just wasn't good. We got to be better, and we got to have some sort of strategy. I think that's the problem. Is you're just flying blind every week with, we're traveling. It's 30 seconds before we're supposed to record. I'm picking, just random names out of a hat. Just we got to be better than that. And Soly, I will tip my hat. I think you've had a great strategy this year. I think you've really, you've just kind of plotted your way around, and I think that shows. So my hat's off. Hopefully we can make some big ass swings this week and catch you, but. If not, your lead is well earned. So congratulations.
Well, thank you. I won't accept your congratulations yet till we get this across the finish line and I see what you guys have in store for this week. But I'm happy to go through my results from this past year if you're ready, or would you like to do them in order?
No, let's keep going in order. It brings us to Tron,
who I would throw out. Randy said who wouldn't have that pick for Spieth. He included. I assume you're including yourself in that because you did not have that pick.
He did have Spieth top pick. 75 though.
No, he had him over one win, over half a win. So I just wanted to say you did not have that pick. So congratulations.
Well, that brings us to Tron, who I would say, Tron, of course, we'd like to hear from you, but I would say an embattled season. Is that correct?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of different directions we can go here as we try to pinpoint what the theme was on the season. I'll say it's tough going into a season.
12 bets a year.
Yeah.
How are you counting parlays and things of that nature?
and Heinz's and tuxedos and whatever else they're called.
Because on some of those Heinz's I had 40, 50 winners in one.
I was going by I was going by the cells in our Excel spreadsheet.
Okay.
If there's a winner next to that bet, then you get a win.
All right. Well, I would like to say
that left you with 12 credited kills.
Fine, that's fine. You know what? I was positive up until like 4 weeks ago, and then I was trying to just start absolutely sending it, trying to catch up. Of course, I had the Max win. Nobody else believed in Max. I was the only one that believed in Max. I made 700 on that. The big leash win, that was over 1,000 there. I just started after you guys basically prohibited me, suspended me.
Did their job.
I had some 0 for weeks in there that were suspension weeks. I had the Mark Russell video. I had to bet on Martin Trainer. I had to bet 100 nuggets on Martin Trainer to win the Puerto Rico Open. I won Rahm.
Which I forget. Did he win that?
No, he didn't. He didn't. So listen, we can talk about a lot of that, but I kind of I was positive until a little bit ago. Fleetwood kept letting me down. I had a really bad stretch post Masters. May was really tough for me, and then I battled back, and then I kind of just squandered it away because I'm not looking for singles.
You're looking for a real big win,
home runs. And yeah, there were a few weeks there where, like when we were at Pine Valley, like I don't think I've ever been that hungover before.
Totally.
I'm sorry about that.
I know. I hate that. And I think that's all part of the season. I think Randy pointed out, though, that, sanctions are very rarely just about the immediate consequences, right? They're all about downstream effects.
They messed with all my models and stuff.
Exactly.
So I couldn't do any matchups, and that's where I specialize. And then also, I think I was poking around a little bit on the season long. I had Spieth, the top 75. 50 nugs on that, 150 from that. I had Rahm to win the British. That didn't pan out. He won the U.S. Open. Neiman to win the PGA, played well. Leash plus 10,000 to win the Masters. He didn't win.
What could have been?
He didn't win, but he could have. That would have been a big ass payday. So
listen, TC, I look forward, I think, as much as you do, to just starting fresh in the new season and put a lot of this behind us.
Which you know what? This is my last week with no parlays. You guys are I can't wait to get out to Napa. Cannot wait.
All right, that brings us to Neil. Neil is of course over in England right now for a wedding.
London town.
Yeah, he's got his top hat on, rolling around the old neighborhood and getting ready for some festivities. Let's take a look at what Neil had going on. He did send me a couple highlights as well. And, say what you want about the Beluga, but he clearly has breached back into the positives. Huge win with Patrick Cantlay this week at the BMW, but his number is very, very similar to mine. 23 wins, 133 losses, 17 0 for weeks, which he did want to point out that included a stretch of going 0 for 24 beginning week 2 at the Sony. He picked 6 winners, which is quite a few. Nelly twice, Jordan Spieth once, Xander once, Leash and Cam at the Zurich, and then Cantlay. And of course, you see his best bet there. Interesting season for Neil. Any reaction from you guys?
I think it was interesting watching Neil learn how to gamble.
Yeah. He,
A lot of Ches in there too. I would be very curious to know how many nuggets were
over under. Yeah, was he positive or negative for Ches for the year? I gotta think he lost.
I gotta think he's deeply negative on Ches. I would have to assume.
The organizers of Ches Fest cannot pay their bills.
I want to thank Neil for at least giving me a little race here, a little challenge at the end, and for also getting in the green. I'd like to congratulate him on that color scheme. It looks great on him, and I'm proud to see him all grown up.
Well, very, very cool of you to say that. Speaking of being in the black or the green, let's take a look at the tail of the tape. Just like I said, just a solid campaign. I feel like a lot of us are out here. Randy, is something we talk about a lot. Baseball, it's strikeouts and home runs. I feel like you saw that in a lot of the league. Soly's playing a lot of small ball though, and it seems like it's really added up.
We're drawing a lot of walks. We got a high on base percentage. We're an OPS machine. Really, this is really from top to bottom, right? It's not just heavy in the middle of the lineup. We got guys that get on base, at the top, but also, that 8-hitter is taking a lot of pitches, right? Eating it, getting late, getting through the pitch count starters, getting that bullpen earlier in the game, and you're going to end up heavily in the black by the end of the year with that strategy. But
I think the whole format, the 5 plays. You can't sprinkle the board. You can't, and that's my whole strategy.
No, totally. And that's totally fair to complain about, since we did make up the rules. We could have picked any game that we wanted.
No, it's collusion by you guys, because that you give me 10 plays a week and it's a different story.
It's so hard seeing you like this. I feel like it's almost a weekly basis that there's just flailing in the corner and just I appreciate you acknowledging and your kind words, DJ, and just wondering if the floor had any more comments.
Well, I have a comment. This is not over. It is not over by a long shot. This is
so early.
I feel like we're in final Jeopardy here, and
it's like we've just gotten through qualifying.
Exactly. What happens? He's got to make a big decision about how much he's willing to wager, because everybody can catch him this week. And I think that's
how does it work in Final Jeopardy? If you have negative 2,000 going into Final Jeopardy?
Well, you don't get to play Final Jeopardy, but we're not Final Jeopardy.
And you know what? Jeopardy's respectfully has got their own issues going on right now as well. So maybe they should look into some format changes too.
But I just want to say I fully intend on winning this season-long competition.
Exactly.
So I will not be congratulating you right now.
I want to congratulate you on a great regular season, but I think we're deep in the postseason right now.
No matter what, I can't end up worse than 1171, which I think is worthy of your congratulations. Right?
Unless we all hit big ass ones, then you could still end up in 5th.
Very well, sure, could be the case. I guess so.
I'm going to come up with my own standings.
Back into the winners. We don't really cover all the winners and all that stuff there, but I think it's just worthy of.
I don't know if you hit any winners. I thought it was just a bunch of top 15, top 20.
It's just so hard to see this, man. It's just desperation. It's just flailing in the corner. It's just eyes closed.
No, I think that's the beauty of the West Coast offense you were playing. You're dinking and dunking, and then you did unfortunately hit us with some long strikes as well.
I hate you seeing you not believe in Max. That was tough.
Well, what the floor is Soly's here. Go ahead. What was your most proud moment? What are they going to put on the Hall of Fame plaque?
Yeah, I don't know if plus 10,000 for hitting a winner for the Heritage counts. as in that West Coast.
How
offense.
many nuggets?
5 nuggets for a clean 500-point winner.
It's kind of like buying a lottery ticket.
Yeah,
but
not even a lottery ticket, like a scratch, like one of those, lotteria scratch offs.
So I can't throw the dink and dunk or hit the 99-yard touchdown pass.
No, that's what I said. You did both. No, you did both.
Okay. And then we have, of course, Kokrak. We pushed a good amount of our stack in on him at Charles Schwab. He rewarded me there. We made a big play for the KPMG Women's PGA on Nelly. That ended up being my biggest win of the year, and of course had a Cantlay or Scheffler to win at BMW last week, which also hit, which I'm pretty proud of that one. So,
listen, it was a great campaign. It was a great campaign. My top hat's off.
Thus far.
Okay. Probably good enough for 5th.
I'm sure I wait for next week where you officially congratulate me. I'm sure you'll go out of your way.
I'll be the first one.
I'm sure you would. I'm sure you will.
All right, let's get into this week's picks. Last game of the season. Can't hold anything back now. Before we go too far, Neil did send me his picks. He wanted to keep them separate. So Soly, you guys are kind of jockeying for for position. He didn't, you don't want to be playing off of each other or playing defense. So we did keep this all. This is all above board. This is a Slack message from Neil. Quote, by the order of the peaking fucking blinders, I think he meant peaky blinders, the Beluga needs 729 nuggets to take down Soly if Soly goes over. Got 4 plays, 3 Korn Ferry Tour long shots and Sung Jae. And then he goes into a lot of different ways he could go. We don't need to get into any of that.
Of course.
He has on the Korn Ferry Tour top 10 Curtis Luck plus 2,500 for 30 nuggets. He has on the Korn Ferry Tour plus 7,000 Justin Lauer to win. Young hitter, riding and dying with the young hitter. He also has to win on the Korn Ferry Tour plus 2,500 30 nuggets Chad Ramey.
Neil's definitely never heard of Chad Ramey
one
before.
fact about Chad Ramey, I would be.
I was just gonna say Neil only picks guys that he's heard of, but I know he hasn't heard of Chad Ramey.
And then his other pick, picking Sung Jae Im to win the Tour Championship plus 4,500. Sung Jae, what did you say? He's starting way back at like 200 or something like that.
To be clear, this is a win the gross or the net.
This says
net.
settlement includes FedEx Cup starting strokes.
So he's minus 3.
So I'm going to guess, he's starting the week 7 back. I'm going to guess that's why Neil got, big eyes when he saw Sung Jae at plus 4,500. But Randy, why don't we go to you?
Yes, I am going completely to the without starting strokes page, and we have just one bet this week: 100 nuggies in honor of Jason Kokrak, pushing it all in this year. I am pushing all 100 in on Jason Kokrak plus
Hell yeah.
4,500 to win, not including starting strokes. The gross division.
That's compelling.
That's
a really
fantastic.
compelling bet.
Yeah.
Logan, I like it.
That plays. That plays. All right, that brings it to me. I believe I'm running it back from last week. We were very close to picking a Korn Ferry Tour winner. I'm going to split my 100 nuggets across 2 winner plays on the Korn Ferry Tour Championship. First, a couple young bucks. I guess one is kind of a, aging buck, but Sahith Thagala plus 6,000 to win.
He's played quite well the
played
last 2 weeks.
Extremely well the last 2 weeks. Just needs a big win. And then we're going to Indiana, right? Patrick Rogers plus 5,000 to win.
Home game?
Total home game for Patrick Rogers. I think he's hungry. He spent the last couple of years on the PGA Tour. He doesn't, I think capping the season with a win would be a delight. So plus 6,000, plus 5,000 for those. TC, what do you got?
4 plays going all sorts of directions. We're going to start out in Italy with the Bullet plus 4,500, 5 nugs to win. Next, we're going to the Tour Championship, 60 nugs to win the gross division. So the non-strokes division, Scotty Scheffler plus 2,000, 60 nugs, pays out 1,260. And then the last 2, we're going to Veek from NoCal National. Justin Lauer, winner, plus 7,000, 10 nugs. Nick Hardy, winner, plus 8,000, 25 nugs.
That's a great play.
Wow.
So I think Nick's going to try to ramp up. He's already got his card locked up, playing with house money. I think he's going to start ramping up for the PGA Tour here. That's what I would be doing.
By my count, I think you need 2 of those winners to hit to run down the top spot. Does that sound right?
That is an interesting strategy.
Listen, 2025, listen, I'm confident that at least 2 of them are going to hit.
Okay.
So
I'd be shocked if 2 didn't hit.
Now the question is, does Soly play offense or does Soly play defense?
That's right. Yeah. How much is he going to wager?
I have to wager 100. Like that's there's nothing to that part of the decision, right? I got a couple dinks and dunks, couple screen passes, and I got a 25-yard pass down the middle. So
he's got a Rory will play all 4 rounds bet.
I will not take that. Rory might walk off Friday. Xander to win without the starting strokes. A little 10 nugget play on him at plus 1,100. Just had to get something on Xander at this golf course. We know how much he loves this one. Of course, a dream come true is going to happen here with the starting strokes. Settlement includes FedEx Cup starting strokes, 20 nuggets on Tony Finau
Tone.
to win the FedEx Cup at plus 700. That would be just a tremendous little cherry on top of this beautiful ice cream sundae of a season. Xander also for a top 5 overall, including the starting strokes, 20 nuggets on that at plus 275. Rom or Cantlay to win the FedEx Cup, 30 nuggets plus 135. Loving where that one's at. So, and then lastly,
it's a comfy bet.
A little one again on my guy Finau, just trying to get as much money in on this guy as I can. Top 5 overall, including the starting strokes, plus 110, 20 nuggets on that one. I feel like that's a lot of protection. I got to put up a lot of walls in a lot of different places. I feel like I got a lot of the board covered. Unlikely I would lose all 5 of those. Of course, it is possible, but just kind of give me that
very possible
case that somebody hits a big winner this final week. So
also, Soly, checking your math here. I can, if Nick Hardy were to come through, that's 2025.
Okay.
So it's
possible.
It would catch me up, which that's
Well, we have a lot to watch this week. That was legitimately extremely fun season. I thoroughly love doing these. These shows are very, very fun to do. So excited to kick it back up in a couple weeks. I think we got a couple weeks off, and then we'll have another one for the Ryder Cup. Is that going to be the kick of our new season? We got to maybe discuss that.
Does the winner get anything, by the way?
Winner doesn't get anything.
Love and admiration.
Okay.
I think we were saying that Randy's not going to like this, but I think we were saying the loser has to go on Cameo for a week. But I don't know if that was ever pushed through the legislature.
No, I don't think that was pushed.
I feel like Randy's been punished a lot this season.
We did give Randy a hand up. All right, let's cut it there.
Also,
and,
any suggestions or improvements we can make,
please
let us know. Get in the comments, get in the replies.
It's going to be tough to get it through our board for approval. Of course, as always, our decision making process is very complicated.
But we can make the ask. We can make the ask.
Can always ask.
Yeah. All right, guys. We will. Let's go watch some golf.
Cheers. Enjoy the week.